This is a list of new shops that were opened within the last 180 days or 6 months. So why are some sellers able to make a full-time income straight out the gate, while others make no money whatsoever and feel like the print-on-demand business model is dead and oversaturated? If you're just starting out, it might feel like it's a huge waste of time, like the business is dead and oversaturated. You may not believe that success is possible for you, and that mentality is the exact reason why you'll never be able to grow a business that makes any money. I'm here to show you that it's not too late yet, but that the sooner you get started, the bigger the advantage you have over everyone else. And my goal is to help you break those limiting beliefs and show you how you can follow in the footsteps of success to create some for yourself. I'll even show you inside one of my brand new shops to answer the question, is print on demand dead and oversaturated, or can it still work for beginners? When I almost completely quit dropshipping and I was down to my last few dollars, dropshipping on Etsy was my last hope. And one of my first successful products was mugs, and then I later moved on to selling t-shirts and other things. But I was only able to make this work by looking at what was already successful on Etsy and modeling it in my own business. By looking at what was working on Etsy, I could figure out what I had to do to become successful. This is a list of new shops that were created in the last 180 days. And what you can see is that there's a handful that are already making regular sales every single month. Some of these shops are bringing in thousands of dollars of income every single month, and they're only 6 months old. So when a shop that opened within the last year or two is already successful, I know that they're doing something right, and I could model my business after what they've done. Now, there's a lot of shops on here that weren't quite as successful, but if we click through one of them and just take a look at their sales over time, you can see that it really wasn't an overnight success. They had to put in a couple months of work, and now they're making great money. This shop is making approximately $9,700, and they've done around $28,000 in the last 4 months that they've been selling. Just because it didn't all happen in month 1 doesn't mean that it doesn't work. And their best-selling designs are these very standard, very simple print-on-demand products. This shop has also been quite successful. They're selling these embroidered products, which are very similar to print on demand. And you can see that they have a lot of listings, and they're currently doing about $16,000 per month. And in the last 3 months, when they've actually been making sales, they've done about $65,000 of revenue. Most sellers give up after posting 50 or 100 listings that don't sell. But if it takes 500 listings to be successful, is that something you would be willing to do? Now, this shop posted about 124 listings in April, but they didn't make that many sales, only about 35 that month. But they stayed consistent and they kept posting more listings for sale. They posted 184 the next month, and that's when their income really took off. The biggest hack that I can give you is find a few shops that are selling the products that you want to sell, make sure they're successful, and then pay attention to the mock-ups, the fonts, the colors, and the ideas that they're targeting, and use that to model your own shop based in their success. You don't want to copy just one shop, but you do want to find a few successful businesses that you can use to model your own after, so that when you're just starting out, you can look at what's already working. This shop has been open for 4 months, and they're already on track to do 6 figures in their first year. But honestly, they might hit it within the next 2 to 3 months. And honestly, I think they're able to do that because it's easier now than it has been before. According to this study, over the last 2 years, Etsy's seller base has shrunk from over 9 million to just 5.5 million sellers. That's a roughly 40% decrease. And I almost guarantee that everyone leaving was one of those who signed up and thought it was going to be a complete walk in the park, and that they'd be making $10,000 a month from posting 20 listings. But since this is such an easy business to start, and since you can start it for less than $100, tons of people sign up and make it look like there's tons of competition. And although this is honestly easier than starting pretty much any other business, people expect sales to just fall in their lap, and then they give up when it gets even a little bit hard. But the thing is, we can see that over the same time period, the number of active buyers didn't drop. We currently have the same amount of active buyers as we did back in 2022. These charts side by side show that the competition is literally dropping, but customers are buying the exact same amount. This data from MarketPulse suggests that it's as easy to start today as it was back in 2021, and that we're on track for it to get even easier. Now, in practice, is it actually easier to start today than it was 4 years ago? This is a shop that I opened at the beginning of this year, and it was just selling these custom pet portraits that I was generating using AI. Now, the shop made about 25 sales in 2 weeks' time, but including the setup week, This shop was able to bring home about $1,800, and that's after all the fees and the marketing costs got deducted from the account. Now, $1,800 might not change your entire life, but the fact that this was done within 3 weeks, including the setup week, is pretty cool, especially when most people's dashboards look like this. Hardly any views and absolutely no sales. This is actually one of my dashboards. And sure, who cares, because this is my stats from 5 years ago. But the point was that it took months for me to actually find that success. If we just skip forward and we go to the next month, you can see things got a little bit better, but we still hardly made any money whatsoever. And for me, this was the story month after month. If we skip ahead again and we go to August, for example, we got more views, but we only made 4 sales. But if we fast forward, and because I stayed consistent, we'll just jump ahead 1 year to 2021. And what you'll see is that absolutely everything changed. At this point, I was making over 1,000 sales per month, averaging, I guess, between 20 and 50, or about 30 sales per day. And the revenue calculation here isn't even accurate because it doesn't include the revenue from the shipping that we collect. On every single t-shirt sale I make, even after all of the fees and taxes and costs are taken out, I'm left with $23.76. Now, I still have to go pay for the product and the shipping, which combined comes out to $13.97. So if we take our $23.76 of income and we subtract the $13.79 of costs, we're left with $9.97 of profit per sale. So when I bring in 10,056 orders, you can see that that's a little bit over $10,000 of profit per month, just after 1 year of staying consistent. But even if you're making less, maybe you're making $6 or $7 of profit per sale, that'd still be $6,000 or $7,000 just by staying consistent over time. The thing that took me from making nothing to over $10,000 a month was just staying consistent and modeling what was already working. Etsy's constantly pushing out new products from new shops, and I can prove it. If we just go to Etsy and we search for something super broad, like the word shirt, and then we just let these results load in, I've got this plugin installed, which allows me to see things like new badges on listings and how old those listings are. And if we just scroll through, we can see how many new listings there are right on Etsy alone. Anytime there's this little green badge, you can see these listings are 2 months old. This one is 3 months old, 3 months, 6 months, brand new. And you can just start to see how many new listings Etsy is constantly trying to push out to test and see which products are going to pop off next. This should give any new seller a ton of hope because Etsy, which is a free platform, is constantly pushing out new listings to see if they'll sell. And these listings aren't even ads. They're just new listings that Etsy's testing. So what's the difference between these new sellers that pop off and make thousands of dollars and those that can't get any sales? The difference is that the sellers who make money understand the game of Etsy. We already looked at this shop that scaled to $16,000 a month in just 4 months, but they have nearly 600 listings. They're also using really nice mockups on all of their listings. And if we take a look at their products, you can see that they're using really good, super high traffic and low competition keywords in all of their listings, which is likely why they're able to rank so high in search results. So the ugly truth that no one wants to hear is that success with this business just takes time. Selling on Etsy, selling print on demand absolutely works. And I don't know of any other business where 25% of the people who start are able to make $1,000 to $5,000 per month. It doesn't matter if you sell on Etsy or TikTok or Amazon or eBay, they all work. The only thing that's different between each platform is the amount of free traffic that platform's going to give your shop and products. Other than the free traffic that Etsy pushes to your product listings, it's the exact same as selling anywhere else online. So anytime someone says that Etsy doesn't work, unless they just mean that selling products online doesn't work, what they're really trying to say is that they think Etsy is too competitive to get these free organic sales. But even if you don't get any free organic sales on your products, it doesn't mean that Etsy doesn't work. It just means that your products weren't good enough to sell. And that is the puzzle that you get paid to solve, making quality products that people want to buy. Now, this video has been sponsored by the comments section, so let me know down below what you want to see next. And as always,